What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the Hero Report. Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the newest member of the Miami Heat, Zylan Cheatham. Now, I did one of these videos when we signed Omer Yurtseven last year, and you guys absolutely loved it. That's my most viewed video ever on my channel. So I realized I had to do this video for you guys because I actually have heard the name before. When we signed him, I was like, I've heard this name before. And when I was trying to think about where I've heard this name before, I actually watched him back in 2018 when he played for Arizona State. He's older now. He's like 26, 25 now, 26 now. But when he was in college, I remember I watched a game of his at Arizona State, not because of him. It was because they were playing Vanderbilt, and I'm a huge Aaron Nesmith fan. And Aaron Nesmith, this was when he was shooting the lights out from three in college. I think this was the year before he got drafted, because Aaron Nesmith was a multi-year player. So I was a huge Aaron Nesmith fan, and he actually had a really good game, Aaron Nesmith, but so did Zylan Cheatham. But before we get into him though, make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below, and let me know your thoughts about him, man. I have a lot to say about him. I have done my research about him as well, just to refresh my memory. I do have a good idea about who he is and what he could bring to the Heat. This is only a guy who's on a 10-day contract, so ultimately I could be making this video for no reason. He might be cut at the end of the 10-day contract. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, but we'll see. I think this is a really good pickup, especially after what he's been doing so far. He also did play for the Pelicans, as I looked up. I remember seeing him in the NBA, but I just forgot what team he played for. He played a couple of games, I think 4 games for the Pelicans, where he averaged about 3 points per game. And then he went to go play overseas, and he played for Birmingham recently. So yeah, so Zylan Cheatham, man, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I don't think it's Zylan, I think it's Zylan. Because I remember someone, I think a commentator was pronouncing it, and he pronounced it Zylan. So I'm pretty sure it's Zylan Cheatham. And yeah, he played for the Birmingham squadron of the G League the most recently, and that's where we picked him up from. He averaged about 14 and 10 rebounds. So this is what he can do. This is his pros and cons, his good things and his bad things. First, his player profile. He's about 6'7", 6'8", with shoes, 6'7", 6'7 and a half without shoes. He's 220 pounds. He is a 3/4 small forward / power forward wing player. He's a very versatile wing, very good defender, very high flyer, really athletic, and ability to guard multiple positions. And he's actually a pretty good ball handler for his position. He does a lot of damage in transition after getting a rebound, kind of pushes it in transition, that type of point forward feel a little bit. He's a good ball handler for his size. He's very quick for his size. Like I said, very athletic for his size. The only thing is, I don't know if he's like a 3 or a 4. He'll have to figure that out as to where he's going to fit on a team, because he can be a tweener. He can be a 3 and a 4, but for a guy who's in that mold, because I kind of compare his game to sort of a Jeff Green, and maybe if he develops a jump shot even more, because his jump shot is solid. He shot 44% from 3, but he didn't shoot that many, and that is probably his biggest weakness, especially at the free throw line. He was not the best. I'm pretty sure he only shot 62% from the free throw line at Arizona State, where he averaged 12 and 10, shooting 53% from the field and 44% from 3. He did average 3 turnovers a game. That's something he has to improve on as well. And then he also tended to pick up a lot of personal fouls. He gets in foul trouble a fair bit. So I kind of compare his game to about like sort of a Jeff Green, and if he can get the jump shot a little bit more consistent, I do see similarities between him and a Jeremy Grant. Obviously, I'm not comparing him to those players saying that he's going to become a Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant is an all-star caliber player. He was an all-star caliber player last year. I think he's a really good player in the NBA. Jeff Green, I think, is probably a more realistic comparison, and I don't even think he might reach Jeff Green, because Jeff Green was a really good player in his prime. I remember with the Celtics, he torched the Heat in a lot of games. Actually, he had multiple 30-point games against us. But I just think as far as his play style is concerned, I could see Jeff Green, because Jeff Green was a high flyer. He used to put people on posters, and now later in his career, he has more developed a 3-point shot, and he's kind of a stretch four. He's always had the ability to guard multiple positions. Obviously Jeremy Grant's defense is better, which is why I had shades of Jeremy Grant as well, because I think this guy, his defensive upside is ridiculous. He has a 7'1" wingspan for his position. And you know, he's a high motor guy. He's a high motor guy, as a lot of people are who play for the Heat. You know, if you want to play for the Heat, you need to have a high motor, because that's just what the culture is. And you know, he was regarded as a really, really great prospect in high school. He played his first couple of seasons, I think 3 seasons at college at San Diego State. He redshirted 1 and played 2, and then after that he transferred to Arizona State. And at Arizona State, you know, he that's where he really, really made his name. And he plays a lot bigger than he is, and that's because of his, you know, high motor. That's because of his athleticism, his quickness, strength, explosiveness. And like I said, you know, a guy who averaged a double-double, 12 and 10 in college and 14 and 10 in the G League. He has shown flashes as a passer. He averaged 3 assists in college. But like I said, the turnovers is going to have to be something he improves on. His decision making is not the best, especially if he gets crowded by multiple defenders. He'll have to improve his decision making. You know, he can be a little bit too careless on offense. He can struggle to score in traffic, and that's why he might throw it away to another guy or something like that. But like I said, very good defensive player, very solid athlete, very good rebounder, good playmaker for his position, very, very good finisher. That's probably his biggest strength, is his finishing, especially with his explosiveness. Shooting is the wild card for him. Like I said, shot 44% from 3 in college, but scouts have said that, you know, he didn't shoot that many, or his mechanics weren't fluid enough. In the G League, I'm pretty sure he had a nice game. I watched the highlights of his game against the Spurs G League team when he was playing for the Timberwolves G League team. He did show flashes to shoot a 3, and I think his 3-point shot has improved, which means that he does put in the work. You know, he might be a guy who's going to be a defensive specialist until he improves his jump shot, maybe be like a 3 and D4. I don't really see him having much opportunity to do a lot of the things like handle the ball on this team with the amount of guys that we have who already bring the ball up. But I really do think that this is a good signing, because, you know, if you look at the team right now, I think the one thing that we're probably missing is that backup 3, backup 4 position off the bench. Markieff Morris is there, but I think the backup 3 right now is really Max Strus or Caleb Martin. And you know, those guys have been playing really solid this season, but I think if you add another guy who can compete with them for that position, that'll really, really bring the best out of them. So you know, I think this is a good signing, man. And maybe just, you know, we signed him today. We play the Pacers obviously on TNT. We're missing a lot of guys. PJ Tucker is the latest to be added to the injury report. This tells me that I don't think the Heat are that confident that one or two of the guys in the front court positions, I don't know if they're confident that they'll be back soon. PJ Tucker just got injured, and I don't think it's any coincidence that we just signed a front court player like a couple days later. I think there might be a sense of fear. I'm not saying anything because I have no clue. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but this is just my intuition that one of the players who are currently injured right now, whether that's PJ or Markieff or maybe even a Bam, Jimmy, I think the Heat might suspect that they might have a setback, or they might not be ready as soon as they think they should be. So you know, if this guy, I have a feeling that this guy might be signed just because, you know, we need an extra body in the front court position while we have so many front court players injured, or very well could be just because PJ Tucker is injured right now, and signing a guy for a 10-day deal just to try him out and just see if we can replace him for a short-term, temporary, you know, time, if it can pay off. And you know, I think that, you know, this is, like I said, it's a good signing. It's a low risk, high reward signing, 10-day deal. If we don't like him, then we can obviously, you know, we can let him go. But this is, I think, a really good pickup. His shooting, like I said, the wild card, dog. His shooting is gonna be the wild card because he did shoot a lot of threes. I mean, he did shoot a high percentage from 3 in college, 44%. And in the G League, I'm pretty sure he shot 43%, and he grabbed 10 rebounds per game. But I really do want to see if he can make that jump shot consistent, and if he can, really develop that part of his game, because I really don't think with the amount of people we have on this team who are going to handle the ball, like Kyle, Tyler, Gabe Vincent right now, with the guys being out, when Jimmy comes back, when these other guys come back, he's not going to have the ability, or not the ability, he's not going to have the opportunity to really, handle the ball and do a lot of the stuff that he likes to do. So he's really going to have to make that 3-point shot, his calling card for the time being, because I really don't see him, getting a lot of touches with the ball as a 10-day contract player on this team with the amount of names that we have. Maybe he could, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but I like him as a lob threat or as a pick and pop player. And hopefully he can, he can refine his game as one of the two. But it has to be one of the two. I think that either you have him just set screens and roll hard to the basket and finish, or you have him set screens and pop and try to space the floor. And the defense is always going to be there. So that's what I think about this guy, man. I think this is a good pickup. Hopefully you guys do as well. I hopefully I gave you guys a solid description as to what he can do. He was undrafted in 2019, but like I said, did play with the Pelicans, so he has NBA experience. He's not new to the NBA, and he's a guy that's waiting for his opportunity. He plays really, really hard. He has a really high motor, and that's the type of guy that we all love on this team. So hopefully that was good enough for you guys as far as a mini scouting report on Zylan Cheatham, and hopefully we see this guy maybe even tonight. Who knows? Like I don't know if we're gonna see him tonight or not, but hopefully we see him soon, because I do want to see some flashes of this guy in the NBA. Because a lot of the stuff that I've seen in college, in college, a guy can look like a superstar and come to the NBA and struggle. So we don't know. In the G League, it's completely different. So I want to see this guy in the NBA. I want to see what he can do. Yeah, that's where we're probably going to wrap up the video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. And let me know your thoughts about the signing, man. I'll see y'all later.